Mindset, the new psychology of success, unlocking your full potential. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to thrive on challenges, learn from every setback, and continually grow, while others shy away from difficulty, fear failure, and feel their abilities are fixed? What if the secret to unlocking your full potential isn't about talent or intelligence, but about something far more fundamental? Your mindset? Welcome, listeners, to a groundbreaking exploration of mindset, the new psychology of success, by the world-renowned Stanford University psychologist, Dr. Carol S. Dweck. Published in 2006, this revolutionary book has profoundly influenced education, business, parenting, and personal development, offering a powerful framework for understanding human achievement. Dr. Dweck's core philosophy is simple yet profound. Our beliefs about our abilities, whether we see them as fixed or capable of growth, fundamentally shape our motivation, resilience, and ultimate success. She introduces two powerful mindsets. The fixed mindset, where individuals believe their qualities, like intelligence or talent, are carved in stone and cannot be changed. And the growth mindset, where individuals believe their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. This book is a compelling argument for the power of belief, revealing how shifting from a fixed to a growth mindset can transform our approach to challenges, failure, and learning, empowering us to reach levels of achievement we never thought possible. It's a vital guide for anyone seeking to cultivate resilience, embrace learning, and truly maximize their potential in every aspect of life. Part 1. The Mindsets, Fixed and Growth. In the first part of Mindset, Dr. Carol Dweck introduces her foundational concept, the two basic mindsets that shape our lives. She meticulously defines each, exploring their origins and their profound impact on our perceptions, motivations, and ultimate outcomes. Chapter 1. The Mindsets, Explanation. This foundational chapter introduces the core distinction between the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. The fixed mindset is the belief that your basic qualities, like your intelligence or talent, are simply fixed traits. You have a certain amount, and that's it. The growth mindset is the belief that your most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Brains and talent are just the starting point. It's effort and strategies that truly foster growth. Dweck argues that these two mindsets profoundly influence how we interpret every experience. Successes, failures, challenges, and effort, and consequently, how we behave. Deep analysis. Psychologically, these mindsets are implicit theories of intelligence and ability. Individuals with a fixed mindset tend to believe that effort is a sign of low ability. If I have to work hard, I must not be smart. They fear failure because it exposes their perceived inherent limitations. They often stick to what they're good at, avoid challenges, and feel threatened by the success of others. Their goal is to prove their intelligence/talent. They see failure as a defining judgment. Individuals with a growth mindset, conversely, see effort as essential for growth. The harder I work, the smarter I get. They embrace challenges as opportunities to learn and develop. They see failure as valuable feedback, not a personal indictment. They are inspired by the success of others, seeing it as a blueprint for what's possible. Their goal is to improve and learn. They see failure as a temporary setback or a lesson. These mindsets are not just about intelligence. They apply to personality, creativity, athleticism, and any human quality. They create a powerful, self-fulfilling prophecy. Illustrative examples. Students in math class. Dweck provides compelling examples from her research with students. Children with a fixed mindset in math, when faced with a difficult problem, might give up quickly, get frustrated, or even try to cheat, believing their intelligence is being exposed as inadequate. They avoid future challenging math problems. Children with a growth mindset, however, will persist longer, try different strategies, ask for help, and see the difficult problem as an exciting opportunity to stretch their abilities. Their engagement and learning are significantly higher. The athlete's perspective. An athlete with a fixed mindset might believe they are naturally gifted or not naturally athletic. If they lose, they might blame external factors or conclude they just don't have what it takes. An athlete with a growth mindset will see a loss as an opportunity to analyze their weaknesses, adjust their training, and push harder. Their focus is on continuous improvement, not inherent talent. The workplace challenge. When a new, complex project arises, an employee with a fixed mindset might feel anxious, try to pass it off, or perform just well enough to avoid looking bad. They fear being exposed as not smart enough. An employee with a growth mindset will view it as an exciting challenge, an opportunity to learn new skills, and a chance to expand their capabilities, even if it means initially struggling. Practical application. Become aware of your own mindset. Pay attention to your thoughts and reactions when faced with challenges, setbacks, or new learning opportunities. Do you gravitate towards fixed or growth thinking? Recognize triggers. Identify situations where your fixed mindset tends to activate, e.g., when criticized, when comparing yourself to others. Start observing children. Notice how children react to learning. The ones who embrace the process, the struggle, are often demonstrating a natural growth mindset. How can you emulate that? Understand that mindsets are not permanent. You can change your mindset through conscious effort and practice. Chapter 2. Inside the Mindsets. Explanation. This chapter delves deeper into the psychological and behavioral consequences of each mindset, showing how they shape our approach to challenges, effort, feedback, and the success of others. Dweck illustrates how the fixed mindset leads to avoidance, while the growth mindset leads to engagement and resilience. Deep analysis. Dweck unpacks the intricate ways each mindset influences our daily lives. Challenges. Fixed mindset. Individuals view challenges as threats to their intelligence, preferring to stick to what they know they can do well. Growth mindset. Individuals see challenges as opportunities to expand their abilities. Effort. Fixed mindset. Individuals see effort as a sign of low ability. If you're truly talented, you shouldn't need to work hard. Growth mindset. Individuals see effort as crucial for mastery and a path to unlocking potential. Feedback/criticism. Fixed mindset. Individuals often take criticism personally as an indictment of their inherent worth. They may become defensive or discouraged. Growth mindset individuals see feedback as valuable information for improvement, a gift that helps them learn. Success of others. Fixed mindset. Individuals may feel threatened or inferior by the success of others, seeing it as confirmation of their own limitations. Growth mindset individuals are often inspired by others' success, seeing it as evidence of what's possible and a blueprint for their own development. Dweck emphasizes that these are not just personality traits. They are learned ways of thinking that can be unlearned and relearned. The underlying driver for fixed mindset individuals is often the need to look smart and avoid looking dumb, while for growth mindset individuals, it's the desire to get smart and continuously improve. Illustrative examples. The study on praise. Dweck highlights her famous research on how different types of praise affect mindset. Children praised for their intelligence, "You're so smart," developed a fixed mindset, shying away from challenges and fearing failure. Children praised for their effort and process. "You worked so hard. I love how you tried different strategies," developed a growth mindset, embracing challenges and learning from mistakes. This shows how external input can subtly shape internal beliefs. The businessman and the merger. A CEO with a fixed mindset, when faced with a struggling merger, might blame market conditions or the acquired company and try to cut losses quickly to protect his reputation. A CEO with a growth mindset would view the struggling merger as a complex problem to be solved, analyzing what went wrong, learning from mistakes, and adapting strategies to make it work, seeing it as an opportunity to grow his leadership skills. The artist. Responding to rejection. An artist with a fixed mindset whose work is rejected by a gallery might conclude, "I'm just not talented enough," and give up. An artist with a growth mindset would analyze the feedback, learn from the rejection, refine their technique, and continue to submit their work, seeing each rejection as a step towards mastery. Practical application. Praise effort and process, not just outcome or talent. When praising yourself or others, focus on the hard work, persistence, and strategies used, not just innate ability. View challenges as learning opportunities. Reframe difficult tasks as chances to grow your brain and skills. Seek out constructive criticism. Actively ask for feedback on areas you can improve. Learn from the success of others. Instead of feeling envious, study how successful people achieved their results and draw inspiration from their journey. Chapter 3. The Truth About Ability and Accomplishment. Explanation. This chapter debunks the myth that natural ability or raw talent alone guarantees accomplishment. Dweck argues that while initial talent might give someone a head start, it is ultimately effort, perseverance, and a love of learning, hallmarks of the growth mindset, that lead to true, sustained achievement and mastery. Many people with immense talent fail to reach their potential because they rely solely on their innate gifts, fixed mindset, while others with less initial talent achieve greatness through relentless dedication. Deep analysis. Psychologically, the belief that talent is everything, a fixed mindset, often leads to a dangerous paradox. If you believe your talent is fixed, you might avoid challenging yourself for fear of revealing its limits. You become complacent, thinking your gifts alone are enough. This ultimately stunts growth. Conversely, the growth mindset understands that brains and talent are just starting points. It's the deliberate practice, the resilience in the face of setbacks, the continuous effort to learn and improve, and the passion for the process that sculpts true expertise. This chapter showcases how individuals who are driven by a hunger to learn and embrace the struggle of improvement often surpass those who rest on their laurels. True accomplishment is a testament to dedication, not just innate wiring. Illustrative examples. Michael Jordan's failure. Dweck often points to Michael Jordan's story. He was famously cut from his high school varsity basketball team. A fixed mindset might have concluded he wasn't naturally talented enough. Instead, Jordan embraced this failure as feedback, practicing relentlessly, being the last to leave the gym, and developing an unparalleled work ethic. His subsequent legendary career is a testament to the power of a growth mindset over perceived initial limitations. The musical prodigy versus the dedicated learner. Consider a child labeled a musical prodigy who easily picks up instruments. If they develop a fixed mindset, they might avoid practicing difficult pieces, believing their natural talent should be enough. They may plateau. In contrast, a child who initially struggles but has a deep passion for music and diligently practices, embracing mistakes as learning opportunities, often far surpasses the prodigy over time, achieving true mastery through consistent effort. The one-hit wonder in business. Some businesses experience a sudden initial success due to a novel idea or market timing, their talent. If they have a fixed mindset, they might become complacent, thinking their initial brilliance will sustain them. They fail to innovate, learn from market changes, or adapt. Businesses with a growth mindset, however, constantly experiment, learn from failures, and evolve, ensuring long-term relevance and success, even if their initial idea wasn't groundbreaking. Practical application. Redefine talent. Recognize that true talent is cultivated through effort and learning, not just inherited. Embrace the process. Find joy in the struggle of learning and improving, not just in the final outcome. Focus on effort over ease. When you see someone achieve something, ask about their dedication and strategies, not just their natural gifts. Apply that same dedication to your own pursuits. Identify where you're holding back. Are you avoiding a challenging task because you fear you're not good enough? Reframe it as an opportunity to grow your abilities. Chapter 4. Sport, the mindset of a champion. Explanation. This chapter explores how the two mindsets play out in the competitive world of sports. Dweck illustrates that championship mentality isn't solely about physical prowess. It's profoundly shaped by a growth mindset, which enables athletes to overcome setbacks, continuously improve, and perform under pressure. Deep analysis. In sports, where performance is often highly visible and quantifiable, the fixed mindset can be particularly debilitating. Athletes with a fixed mindset might be obsessed with winning, proving their talent, and terrified of losing, exposing their lack of talent. This can lead to choking under pressure, blaming others, and avoiding challenging opponents or new training methods. A growth mindset in sports, however, sees every competition, every training session, and every loss as an opportunity to learn, to refine skills, and to push beyond current limits. These athletes focus on mastery, resilience, and personal bests, rather than just winning. They understand that talent is developed through hard work and that mistakes are essential for growth. This mental toughness allows them to rebound from defeats and continually elevate their game. Illustrative examples: Tiger Woods, continuous improvement. Early in his career, Tiger Woods was already a dominant force. Yet, he famously overhauled his swing multiple times, accepting temporary struggles and a loss of form in order to reach a higher level of mastery. This willingness to rebuild, to learn from discomfort, epitomizes a growth mindset champion. A fixed mindset athlete might have clung to a winning swing for fear of losing their natural touch. The athlete who chokes under pressure. Dweck might describe an athlete with immense natural talent who consistently chokes in big moments. This is often a fixed mindset response. The pressure to prove their talent becomes too great, and the fear of failure paralyzes them. They're playing not to lose, rather than to win or perform their best. The coach with a growth mindset. A coach with a growth mindset won't just scout for talented players. They'll look for players with a strong work ethic, a love of learning, and resilience in the face of mistakes. They'll create a team culture where effort is praised, mistakes are analyzed for lessons, and continuous improvement is the ultimate goal, fostering an environment where all players can develop. Practical application. Focus on process, not just outcome. In your own endeavors, emphasize the effort, the learning, and the strategies you employ, regardless of the immediate result. Learn from losses. See setbacks or failures as vital data points for improvement rather than personal indictments. What can you do differently next time? Embrace pressure as a challenge. Reframe stressful situations as opportunities to test and grow your skills, rather than as threats to your ability. Cultivate resilience. Understand that success in any field requires the ability to bounce back from adversity and keep learning. Chapter 5. Business, Mindset, and Leadership. Explanation. This chapter investigates how the two mindsets profoundly influence leadership styles, organizational culture, and a company's ability to innovate and thrive. Dweck argues that leaders with a fixed mindset often create environments that stifle growth and risk-taking, while growth mindset leaders foster cultures of learning, resilience, and continuous improvement. Deep analysis. Psychologically, a fixed mindset leader often believes their intelligence and abilities are superior and static. They tend to surround themselves with yes men who won't challenge them. Fearing dissent might expose their own limitations. They focus on proving their existing brilliance rather than learning and developing. When faced with setbacks, they might blame others, cover up mistakes, or make short-sighted decisions to protect their image. This creates a culture of fear, blame, and stagnation, where employees are afraid to innovate or admit mistakes. Conversely, a growth mindset leader believes that everyone, including themselves, can grow and develop. They seek out challenges, embrace feedback, even criticism, and are eager to learn. They actively listen to diverse perspectives, encourage experimentation, and create a safe environment for employees to take risks and learn from failures. They understand that their role is to foster the growth of their team, not just to prove their own genius. This cultivates a vibrant, resilient, and innovative organizational culture. Illustrative examples. Lee Iacocca at Chrysler, fixed mindset traits. While Iacocca was a brilliant leader who saved Chrysler, Dweck sometimes uses aspects of his later career to illustrate fixed mindset pitfalls. He was brilliant in a crisis, but his subsequent focus on his own legacy and resisting new talent or ideas after the crisis passed arguably limited Chrysler's long-term innovation. He became highly centralized and resistant to new perspectives, believing his past success was enough. Jack Welch at GE, growth mindset traits. Jack Welch, though controversial, demonstrated many growth mindset leadership qualities. He created a culture where people were constantly challenged to learn and improve, encouraging candid feedback, even if tough, and pushing for continuous reinvention. He was obsessed with talent development and creating an environment where people could grow, even if it meant admitting past strategies were no longer working. Enron's downfall. Extreme fixed mindset culture. The culture at Enron, driven by extreme pressure to look good and hit numbers at all costs, is a stark example of a pathological fixed mindset. Employees were terrified to admit mistakes or report bad news, leading to widespread deception and eventual collapse. There was no room for learning from failure, only constant proving of success. Practical application for leaders and managers. Lead by example. Demonstrate a growth mindset in your own learning, your response to feedback, and your willingness to admit mistakes. Praise effort and learning, not just results. When evaluating employees, focus on their process, their willingness to tackle challenges, and their continuous improvement, not just their innate talent or immediate outcome. Create a psychologically safe environment, encourage experimentation, and view failures as valuable learning opportunities, not reasons for punishment. Listen actively and seek diverse perspectives. Don't just surround yourself with people who agree with you. Actively seek out dissenting opinions and new ideas. For employees, seek out companies and leaders who exhibit a growth mindset. In your own role, adopt a growth mindset when approaching projects and feedback. Chapter 6. Relationships, mindsets in love, and other bindings. Explanation. This chapter extends the mindset framework to personal relationships, particularly romantic partnerships and family dynamics. Dweck illustrates how our beliefs about ourselves and our partners, whether we believe qualities are fixed or can grow, profoundly impact communication, conflict resolution, and the longevity of relationships. Deep analysis. Psychologically, relationships thrive on a belief in growth and mutual development. In a fixed mindset relationship, individuals might believe their partner's personality or their relationship's dynamics are fixed. He's just naturally lazy. We're just not compatible. When conflicts arise, they see them as evidence of inherent flaws or irreversible problems. They might avoid difficult conversations, blame the other person, or secretly judge their partner. This leads to resentment, defensiveness, and often the collapse of the relationship. They believe love should be effortless, a sign of inherent rightness. In a growth mindset relationship, partners believe that both individuals and the relationship itself can evolve and improve through effort, communication, and learning. When conflicts arise, they see them as opportunities for deeper understanding and mutual growth. They engage in open dialogue, take responsibility for their own contributions to problems, and actively work to develop strategies for better interaction. They understand that love requires continuous effort and that challenges are a natural part of deepening connection. Illustrative examples: the soulmate myth, fixed mindset in love. Many people believe in the soulmate myth, that if you find the right person, the relationship will be perfect and effortless. When conflicts inevitably arise, they conclude, "This isn't my soulmate," and give up, instead of seeing the conflict as an opportunity for growth. This is a classic fixed mindset trap in relationships. Partners who grow together. Dweck might highlight couples who have faced significant challenges, e.g., job loss, illness, personal struggles, but emerge stronger. Their success isn't due to a lack of problems, but to a shared growth mindset. They view challenges as our problem to solve together, seeing them as opportunities to learn about each other and strengthen their bond. They celebrate each other's efforts to improve. Parenting with a growth mindset. Parents with a fixed mindset might label their child the smart one or the naughty one, focusing on innate traits. When the child struggles, they might get frustrated. Why aren't they trying harder if they're so smart? Parents with a growth mindset praise effort and process, focusing on learning from mistakes and encouraging their child's development, seeing every challenge as a chance for the child to grow. Practical application. Apply growth language to relationships. Instead of, "You're just lazy," try, "I noticed you're having trouble with X. Let's figure out a strategy together." View conflict as an opportunity. When disagreements arise, approach them as a chance to understand your partner better and for both of you to grow. Praise effort and process in your partner. Acknowledge their attempts to communicate, to be supportive, or to learn, even if the outcome isn't perfect. Work on self-improvement for the relationship. Focus on your own growth and contributions to the relationship, rather than waiting for your partner to change. Chapter 7. Parents, Teachers, and Coaches. Where do mindsets come from? Explanation. This chapter delves into the origins of mindsets, primarily focusing on the significant role of parents, teachers, and coaches in shaping a child's, and eventually an adult's, belief about their abilities. Dweck reveals that the type of praise given, the feedback provided, and the overall environment created by these authority figures profoundly influence whether an individual develops a fixed or a growth mindset. Deep analysis. Psychologically, children are highly impressionable. Their early experiences with authority figures teach them fundamental lessons about themselves and how the world works. Fixed mindset. Parenting for teaching. This often involves praising intelligence or talent. "You're so smart. You're a natural." While seemingly positive, this kind of praise can instill a fixed mindset because it suggests that intelligence is an innate, unchangeable quality. When these children face difficulty, they internalize it as a sign of their lack of intelligence and may become anxious, avoid challenges, or try to hide mistakes. Their goal becomes to look smart rather than to be smart or to learn. They may also apply rigid labels to their children. "He's the artistic one. She's not good at math." Growth mindset. Parenting, teaching. This focuses on praising effort, process, strategy, and perseverance. "I love how you worked so hard on that. That was a great strategy you used. You learned so much from that mistake." This type of feedback teaches children that their abilities are developed through hard work and that challenges are opportunities for growth. When they struggle, they see it as a chance to learn and improve. This builds resilience, a love of learning, and a secure sense of self-worth based on effort and continuous development, rather than innate talent. Dweck emphasizes that it's not just explicit praise. The overall environment, the questions asked, and the way mistakes are handled also shape mindset. Illustrative examples. The smart child who stops trying. Dweck's research shows that children praised for being smart often choose easier tasks to avoid failure and maintain their smart label. When they eventually face a truly difficult problem, they might give up quickly, believing their intelligence has reached its limit. The effort child who thrives. Children praised for their effort, even if their initial results are not outstanding, are more likely to take on difficult challenges, persist longer, and ultimately achieve greater mastery. They understand that their effort directly leads to improvement. The coach who praises practice. A coach with a growth mindset spends more time praising how an athlete practices, their dedication to drills, and their improvements in technique, rather than just their game day performance. This creates a culture where effort is valued and athletes are motivated to continuously refine their skills. Practical application. Shift your praise. Whether you're a parent, teacher, manager, or friend, praise effort, strategies, and growth. Avoid praising fixed traits like smart or talented alone. Focus on the process of learning. When a child or colleague struggles, emphasize the learning opportunity. What can we learn from this? What different strategy could we try? Teach resilience. Model how to respond to setbacks by viewing them as valuable feedback and opportunities to develop. Avoid labeling. Resist the urge to label yourself or others with fixed traits. Focus on behaviors and capacities for growth. Chapter 8. Changing Mindsets. The Story of Transformation. Explanation. This final chapter of Part 1 explores the profound implications of mindsets for personal change and ethical behavior. Dweck argues that a fixed mindset can hinder moral development, leading to defensiveness and denial in the face of mistakes, while a growth mindset fosters humility, responsibility, and genuine moral growth. Deep analysis. Psychologically, when an individual with a fixed mindset makes a mistake, especially a moral one, they perceive it as an indictment of their character. I'm a bad person. This leads to a strong desire to cover up, blame others, or deny the error, rather than taking responsibility and learning. Their fixed view of themselves prevents them from admitting fault and making amends, hindering their ethical development. They may believe that truly good people don't make mistakes. A growth mindset, however, views mistakes, including moral ones, as opportunities for learning and personal growth. They are more likely to take responsibility, learn from their missteps, and actively work to make things right. They understand that character is developed through choices and effort, not through an inherent flawlessness. This fosters integrity, empathy, and a continuous striving for ethical behavior, even when it's uncomfortable. They believe that even if they did something bad, it doesn't make them a bad person, in essence, but rather someone who made a mistake and can grow from it. Illustrative examples. The Enron executives fixed mindset. Dweck implicitly points to corporate scandals like Enron. Executives with a fixed mindset often could not admit mistakes, tried to maintain an image of infallible success, and blamed external factors, leading to deeper ethical breaches and eventually collapse. Their need to look good outweighed their commitment to be good. The student who cheats. A student with a fixed mindset might cheat on a test. If caught, they might deny it, blame the teacher for making the test too hard, or feel overwhelming shame. They avoid confronting the moral implications because it threatens their self-perception as smart or good. The growth-minded manager. Admitting a mistake. A manager makes a poor decision that costs the company money. With a growth mindset, they would publicly acknowledge their mistake, analyze what went wrong, and commit to learning from it. This vulnerability builds trust with their team and fosters a culture of accountability and continuous improvement. Practical application. Reflect on your response to mistakes. When you make a mistake, do you get defensive, blame others, or try to hide it? Or do you take responsibility and seek to learn? Embrace honest self-assessment. Be willing to confront your own flaws and areas for moral growth without judgment. Focus on integrity and learning. Prioritize doing the right thing and learning from your actions, even if it means admitting discomfort or imperfection. Teach responsibility and growth from setbacks. For children or teams, emphasize that mistakes are opportunities for learning and that taking responsibility builds character. Part 2. The Mindset Journey. Cultivating Growth. Having meticulously dissected the fixed and growth mindsets and explored their profound implications across various domains of life, Dr. Carol Dweck now shifts our focus to Part 2, the Mindset Journey. This section is about application, how we can consciously cultivate a growth mindset in ourselves and help others do the same. It's a practical guide to moving from understanding to sustained transformation. Chapter 9. Changing Mindsets. Explanation. This pivotal chapter provides concrete steps and insights into how we can actually change our mindset from fixed to growth. Dweck emphasizes that this isn't a simple flick of a switch. It's a process, but one that is entirely achievable through awareness, deliberate practice, and persistent effort. She debunks the myth that mindsets are permanent and offers a clear pathway to transformation. Deep analysis. Psychologically, changing a mindset involves rewiring deeply ingrained neural pathways and shifting long-held beliefs. It requires learning to hear your fixed mindset voice. The first step is awareness. We all have a fixed mindset voice that emerges, especially when faced with challenges or setbacks. I'm not good enough. This is too hard. I'll look stupid. Recognizing this voice is crucial. Recognizing that you have a choice. Once you hear the fixed mindset voice, you have the power to consciously choose how to interpret the situation and respond. This is the moment of personal agency. Talking back with a growth mindset voice. Actively challenge the fixed mindset voice. Replace its discouraging statements with empowering, growth-oriented thoughts. This is a challenge, and I can learn from it. Effort makes me smarter. What strategy can I try next? Taking action with a growth mindset. The ultimate step is to take concrete action that aligns with a growth mindset, even if it feels uncomfortable. This involves embracing challenges, persisting in the face of setbacks, learning from mistakes, and seeing effort as a path to mastery. Each time you choose a growth-oriented response, you reinforce the new neural pathways, making the growth mindset more automatic. Dweck highlights that setbacks are inevitable in this journey. The key is to see them as opportunities to refine your approach, not as proof that you're stuck in a fixed mindset. Illustrative examples. The fixed mindset voice in action. Imagine someone preparing for a presentation. The fixed mindset voice whispers, "What if you mess up? Everyone will think you're incompetent. Don't try anything new. Just play it safe." The individual feels anxious and limits their potential. Talking back with growth. When that voice appears, the individual consciously talks back. This is a great opportunity to practice and learn. Even if I stumble, I'll gain valuable experience. What's one thing I can focus on to improve for next time? This shift empowers them to take action. The power of yet. Dweck suggests adding yet to fixed mindset statements. Instead of "I can't do this," say "I can't do this yet." This simple word implies possibility, effort, and future growth, immediately shifting the mindset. The re-education of prisoners. Dweck provides fascinating examples of how teaching a growth mindset even to hardened criminals in correctional facilities helped reduce recidivism. By understanding that their intelligence and character could be developed, they were more likely to engage in rehabilitation programs, see their past as a learning experience, and believe in their capacity for change. Practical application. Self-monitor. Become acutely aware of your internal dialogue. When do you hear the fixed mindset voice? Challenge and reframe. Actively question fixed mindset thoughts and consciously reframe them through a growth lens. "I failed" becomes "I learned." "I'm not good at this" becomes "I'm not good at this yet." Embrace deliberate practice. Seek out opportunities to stretch yourself, even if you anticipate struggle. The process of overcoming difficulty is how your brain grows. Reflect on setbacks. After a setback, instead of dwelling on failure, ask yourself, what specific strategies can I improve for next time? What did this teach me about myself and the task? Chapter 10. The Mindset in the Workplace. Explanation. This chapter returns to the professional sphere, offering actionable advice for leaders and employees on how to cultivate a growth mindset, culture, within an organization. Dweck argues that a company's success is heavily dependent on whether its people believe in their collective and individual capacity for learning and development. Deep analysis. Psychologically, an organizational culture often reflects the dominant mindset of its leadership. In a fixed mindset organization, leaders might hire based on perceived innate talent, avoiding those who show weaknesses. They may resist innovative ideas that carry risk of failure and blame individuals when mistakes occur. Feedback is often judgmental, leading to defensiveness and secrecy among employees. This stifles creativity, reduces morale, and makes the organization brittle in the face of change. A growth mindset organization, conversely, values effort, learning, and continuous improvement. Leaders hire for potential and teachability, not just existing skills. They encourage risk-taking and view failures as crucial learning opportunities, Feedback is constructive and focused on process and strategy. Innovation flourishes because employees feel safe to experiment and admit mistakes. This creates a resilient, agile, and high-performing culture where everyone is invested in collective growth. Illustrative examples: GE under Jack Welch, growth-oriented culture. While controversial for some policies, Jack Welch at GE exemplified aspects of a growth mindset leader. He pushed for constant learning, experimentation, and accountability. He demanded that managers be A players who developed B players, fostering a culture of continuous improvement and talent development across the organization. This focus on growth propelled GE's long-term success. Enron's talent-only culture, fixed mindset warning. Dweck often contrasts this with companies like Enron, which had an extreme talent-only culture. Employees were constantly ranked and fired, leading to a desperate need to look good and avoid admitting mistakes. This bred secrecy, deceit, and ultimately led to the company's dramatic downfall. It was a fixed mindset gone pathological. Microsoft versus IBM in the 90s. Microsoft, with its early, hungry, learn-as-you-go culture, initially outmaneuvered IBM, which became bogged down by its legacy, fixed beliefs about its own dominance, and a fear of adapting to new technologies. Microsoft embodied a nimble, growth-oriented approach that valued experimentation. Practical application. For leaders and managers, focus on employee development. Prioritize training, mentorship, and opportunities for learning new skills. Change your feedback. When giving feedback, focus on the process, effort, and strategies, not just the outcome. Ask, "What did you learn?" instead of, "Why did you fail?" Reward growth, not just genius. Acknowledge and reward individuals who take on difficult challenges, persist through setbacks, and demonstrate continuous improvement, even if they don't always achieve perfection. Foster a culture of learning. Create a safe environment for experimentation. Encourage employees to admit mistakes openly, analyze them collectively, and learn from them. Be a growth-minded role model. Demonstrate vulnerability, admit your own mistakes, and show your own commitment to learning and growing. Chapter 11. Relationships, Mindsets in Love, and Other Bindings. Explanation. This chapter, similar to the one in Part 1, delves deeper into how our mindsets fundamentally shape our romantic relationships, friendships, and family dynamics. Dweck re-emphasizes that our beliefs about our partner's fixed traits versus their capacity for growth dictate how we handle conflict, build trust, and maintain long-term connection. Deep analysis. Psychologically, the quality and longevity of our relationships are deeply intertwined with our implicit theories about people. In a fixed mindset relationship, individuals often believe that if their partner is truly the one, the relationship should be effortless and perfect. They tend to judge their partner's flaws as permanent character defects. That's just who they are. When conflicts arise, they see them as evidence of fundamental incompatibility, leading to blame, defensiveness, and a reluctance to work through issues. They might keep a running tally of grievances or feel constantly evaluated by their partner. This mindset often leads to resentment, breakdown in communication, and eventual dissolution as the soulmate myth crumbles under the weight of real-life imperfections. In a growth mindset relationship, partners understand that all individuals and the relationship itself are works in progress. They view challenges and conflicts not as terminal flaws, but as opportunities for deeper understanding and mutual growth. They believe that effective communication, effort, and learning from mistakes can strengthen the bond. They focus on effort, process, and improvement in their partner and in themselves, celebrating progress rather than demanding perfection. They are more likely to offer constructive feedback, be vulnerable, and engage in problem solving rather than blaming. This fosters resilience, intimacy, and a continuously evolving partnership. Illustrative examples: the flawed partner versus growing together. Imagine a partner who often forgets important dates. A fixed mindset partner might label them thoughtless or uncaring, a fixed trait, and let resentment fester. A growth mindset partner might say, "You're usually so thoughtful, but I noticed you forgot our anniversary. Is there a new system we could try to help remember important dates, like shared calendars or reminders?" This focuses on a behavior that can be improved through strategy and effort rather than a fixed judgment. Conflict as a growth opportunity. Dweck recounts a story of a couple who, after a significant argument, decided to treat their disagreements as a project to learn more about each other's communication styles. They actively worked on listening to understand, expressing needs clearly, and finding common ground. This growth mindset approach transformed their conflict from a destructive force into a catalyst for deeper connection. The insecurity of perfection. Manson, and implied here by Dweck, often highlights how the need to appear perfect or always be right can destroy intimacy. A fixed mindset partner might refuse to admit fault or apologize, fearing it makes them look weak. A growth mindset partner embraces vulnerability, knowing that admitting mistakes is a sign of strength and builds trust. Practical application. Stop labeling your partner and yourself. Focus on behaviors that can be changed, not fixed personality traits. View challenges as shared problems to solve. When conflict arises, shift from you versus me to us versus the problem. Praise effort and process in your relationship. Acknowledge your partner's attempts to communicate, to be supportive, or to learn, even if the outcome isn't perfect immediately. This reinforces positive behaviors. Cultivate honest and open communication. Create a safe space where both partners feel comfortable expressing their thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment. Chapter 12. Parents, Teachers, and Coaches. Developing Mindsets. Explanation. This chapter circles back to the foundational influence of parents, teachers, and coaches, detailing precisely how they can intentionally foster a growth mindset in children and young adults. Dweck provides actionable strategies for educators and caregivers to promote a love of learning, resilience, and personal growth. Deep analysis. Psychologically, the way children are praised, critiqued, and challenged profoundly shapes their implicit theories about their own abilities. The danger of praise for intelligence. Dweck's extensive research consistently shows that praising children for their intelligence, "You're so smart," can actually be detrimental. It creates a fixed mindset because it implies that intelligence is an innate quality. When these children face difficult tasks, they may avoid challenges or give up quickly, fearing they might lose their smart label. Their goal becomes to look smart, not to learn. They also become more sensitive to setbacks, the power of praise for effort and process. Conversely, praising children for their effort, strategies, perseverance, and improvement. I love how hard you worked on that. That was a great strategy you tried. You really stuck with it even when it was tough. Fosters a growth mindset. This teaches children that their abilities are developed through hard work and that challenges are opportunities for growth. They become more resilient, embrace difficult tasks, and see mistakes as valuable learning experiences, teaching strategies, not just answers. Growth-minded educators don't just give answers. They teach children how to learn, how to problem solve, and how to develop effective strategies. They celebrate the process of learning, not just the final score. Responding to failure. Instead of punishment or judgment for mistakes, growth mindset. Parents/teachers view failures as crucial information. They help children analyze why something didn't work and what new strategies they can try. Illustrative examples. The oops moments. In a growth mindset classroom, mistakes are often called oops moments or learning opportunities. A teacher might say, "Great try. What did you learn from that attempt? And what different approach could you take next?" This normalizes error and encourages reflection. The coaching philosophy of John Wooden. Legendary basketball coach John Wooden, renowned for his consistent success, rarely focused on winning or losing in practice. He meticulously focused on effort, fundamental skills, and continuous improvement in every single drill. He understood that by instilling a growth mindset about daily effort, championship outcomes would naturally follow. The parent's encouragement of challenge. A parent wants their child to try a new sport. Instead of saying, "You're so naturally athletic, you'll be great," a growth mindset parent might say, "This will be a fun challenge, and I know you'll learn so much by trying hard, even if it's tough at first. I'm excited to see you grow." This sets the child up to embrace the learning process. Practical. Application. Shift your praise. When praising children or students, focus on their effort, strategies, resilience, and improvement, rather than their innate intelligence or talent. Teach strategies for learning. Don't just tell them, "Try harder." Help them discover how to learn, problem solve, and develop new approaches. Model a growth mindset. Be open about your own learning journey, your struggles, and how you overcome challenges. Admit when you're wrong and how you're learning. Emphasize growth and learning over grade scores. While outcomes matter, ensure the primary focus is on the process of development. Create a safe-for-struggle environment. Encourage risk-taking, experimentation, and view mistakes as invaluable feedback, not failures. Conclusion. The power to transform your life lies in your mindset. As we bring to a close our insightful journey through Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Dr. Carol S. Dweck, a transformative truth emerges. Our potential is not fixed, but a dynamic capacity for growth and development. This book isn't merely a psychological theory. It's a profound blueprint for understanding human achievement and unlocking capabilities we never knew we possessed. Dweck's groundbreaking research has illuminated the stark differences between the fixed mindset, the belief that abilities are set in stone, and the growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. We've seen how these two fundamental beliefs ripple through every facet of our lives. In personal achievement, a fixed mindset leads to avoiding challenges, fearing failure, and seeing effort as a sign of weakness. A growth mindset embraces challenges, learns from setbacks, and views effort as the path to mastery. In sports, champions with a growth mindset continuously refine their skills, bounce back from losses, and push beyond perceived limits, understanding that talent is built, not just given. In business and leadership, growth mindset leaders foster cultures of innovation, learning, and resilience, empowering their teams to experiment and grow, while fixed mindset leaders often stifle creativity and blame others. In relationships, growth mindset partners see conflicts as opportunities for deeper understanding and mutual development, fostering stronger, more enduring bonds. In parenting and teaching, cultivating a growth mindset in children by praising effort and process rather than just intelligence instills a lifelong love of learning and resilience. In moral development, a growth mindset allows us to take responsibility for our mistakes, learn from ethical missteps, and continuously strive for integrity. In the rapidly evolving 21st century, where continuous learning and adaptability are paramount, the principles of mindset are more vital than ever. They empower us to embrace challenges, see obstacles not as threats, but as exciting opportunities to stretch our capabilities, cultivate resilience, learn to bounce back from setbacks, viewing failures as invaluable feedback for improvement, value effort and process, understand that persistent effort and the right strategies are more crucial than innate talent, inspire growth in others. Whether as parents, teachers, leaders, or friends, we can actively foster a belief in growth and potential in those around us. Unlock your own potential. Recognize that your intelligence, your character, and your abilities are not static. They can be continually developed and enhanced throughout your life. Mindset is a powerful invitation to shift your perspective, to understand that your brain is not just a collection of fixed abilities, but a dynamic, growing organ. By consciously choosing a growth mindset, you gain the power to learn more, achieve more, and live a life of continuous expansion and fulfillment. If the profound insights of Dr. Carol Dweck in this summary have resonated with you and inspired a desire for personal growth, I wholeheartedly encourage you to read Mindset, The New Psychology of Success in its entirety. Her extensive research, compelling stories, and practical guidance offer an even deeper, more transformative understanding. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What's one specific area of your life where you're committed to applying a growth mindset starting today? And what's one small step you'll take to embrace a challenge, learn from a setback, or praise effort in yourself or someone else? Share your reflections and intentions in the comments below. Your journey of growth inspires this entire community. If you found this comprehensive audiobook summary valuable, please give this video a thumbs up to support the channel. Subscribe for more transformative book insights, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into life-changing wisdom. Thank you for listening, and remember, your mindset isn't just a way of thinking, it's a way of living. Choose to grow.